Howdy y'all. I know I ain't done a video for you guys in a long time, and I just wanted to apologize to y'all and tell you that I'm going to try to do better. And I thought I would show you today my garden. And me and my wife and the girls have really worked hard in this garden. And it's really a miracle that this garden has grew anything at all. And I'll show you why. It's a beautiful evening here. And let's see. As you can see, I'll do a video on this later, but I've got the addition started on the cabin. And that'll be a whole nother video, but that's y'all a sneak peek. Alright, here you go. You see how lush and green all these vines are? These are cucumbers, and there's corn and tomatoes in the background. Well, let me just show you here. See this poor ground? It's all clay and rock. I mean, grass barely grows on it. That's what this garden was. This hill right here run down, it was all woods, and I had it dozed out about 2 years ago. And I was going to build a barn here, but changed my mind. I'm going to build it somewhere else. So we took the tractor and plowed all this up. And I put a whole load of wood chips, and we put down nitrogen and fertilized lime, and planted everything. And we have fought rocks. Lord, we have hauled, I bet, 10 wheelbarrows of rocks out of this. And it ain't a real big garden, but it's probably 40 by 50 or so. And I'll show you what we got going. Please excuse all these weeds. We went through a real dry spell, and I didn't want to get in here digging around and lose what moisture was in the ground. And now it's rained a lot, so I'm just going to take the weed eater and just trim around, knock them down what I can for now. Everything is so big. But as you see right here, these are sweet potato vines, and these come from Baker Creek. These are pumpkin yams, and we have a couple of the sunflowers that we planted from Baker Creek as well. These were the mammoth gray giants, I believe they were called. And they're just now getting some buds on them. Alright, here is the pepper plants that we started indoors. And they're doing really well. We've already been picking off these. And they're everyone loaded down. So we're going to be pickling some peppers. Alright, here we have cucumbers. I've got them in concrete wire cages. And me and my wife have been picking these and cutting them up for dinner about every evening. We have some okra right here. And it hasn't made anything yet. But I've seen it's about waist high. So it's still got a ways to grow. And there's a butternut squash, as you can see, laying right there on the ground. We planted Waltham butternut squash in the corn. And all the corn is tasseling, and this is just now starting to silk. And I have had the worst time with corn this year. It has blew over twice. So we've come in here, you see those seagrass strings. And right there. I put stakes on each side of the row, and we tied the corn back up because it was on the ground twice. We'll go along here and I'll show you what else we got. This here is ambrosia corn, and it's making ears. They ain't the biggest ears, but there's going to be a good amount of corn come out of it when it's all said and done. Here is our bean patch. And man, they are loaded to the max. And I spaced these out about 5 inches apart, each seed. This little shorter row is greasy beans. And they're ready to pick. I've got a bunch of these fellers I'm going to be picking tomorrow. And they are absolutely beautiful little beans. And this whole row is loaded down. Alright, this row is our rattlesnake pole beans. And this is our favorite bean that we grow. And here's some smaller ones. Here's a few bigger ones. Man, these really, I mean, that's a big bean. I got pretty good sized hands. And they're hanging in wads in here. And man, these are delicious. And we make shuck beans out of these. We can these, we freeze them. They're just all around good bean. And I know a few people who say that they have took the seeds and dried out and made them like soup beans, like pinto beans. And man, this row is loaded down. Beans everywhere. Alright, now here's my wife's tomato patch. And it is really, it's like a jungle in here now. And we took, and she got this idea from Patera at Appalachia's Homestead. We took hog panels that I had on an old hog lot that I tore down, and we put them on T-posts, and we put the rows 4 feet apart, and we planted the tomatoes 4 feet apart, every direction. And whenever we planted these, I took post hole diggers and dug a hole, and Lakin come along, and she put a handful of pelletized lime in the bottom of the hole, and then she put dirt, then set the tomato plant in as deep as it would go to leave, you know, the top leaves up, and then filled it in with compost. So that really helped get these going, I think. Because this ground, I mean, you see all the little rocks, and it's clay, and it's never grew anything. We've got, I think, 10 types of tomatoes in here, and they are loaded down. We haven't picked any tomatoes yet, but I'll show you. We've got a couple starting to turn. These are all the tomatoes that we showed you in the videos starting indoors. Alright, here's one. Let me get around here. Had to put electric fence around the garden to keep the goat and the deer out. Here's a hillbilly tomato that is almost ready. And it's getting kind of dark out here. I waited a little late to make the video. This one does have a little black spot on the bottom, but it's not rotted or anything. And I've had very little blight on any plants. Lakin kept them pruned. She, until recently, they've really bushed out now. But she had all the leaves a foot off the ground and all the suckers pruned out. And since we've been getting rain every other day for the last little bit, man, they have really bushed out and took off. Beautiful tomatoes. And there's tons of them coming in now. Every size and shape. These here are Bonnie's Best. And can't see there's a couple in there that is really nice and big. It's kind of hard to see them. Let's see, I'll take you on around. Our little raised bed garden has done pretty well this year. We've already picked our cabbage, and we made chow chow and mixed pickles and some sauerkraut. Here's some more of the rattlesnake beans. I've got a full row and a half a row. But these tomatoes, I never thought we'd get anything to grow up here. And me and Lakin come up here and just work the ground the best we could. We didn't have a lot to work with. And it's really took off and surprised me. And Lakin's very proud of her tomatoes, which she has the right to be. They are beautiful tomatoes. Here's two of the Bonnie's Best I wanted to show you. Man, these things are humongous. They're big as my hand. And they're still growing. Every day I come up here and they're a little bigger. But I think the Bonnie's Best is going to have some of the nicest fruit on that we've got. They've got, I think, the biggest tomatoes and the healthiest vines of any plant that we've got planted. we've got several, 2 or 3 little types of the tomato or grape tomatoes, and our girls really love those. The girls helped us plant some of this up here. They love working in the dirt. But the garden is really, really doing good. And this is a little smaller garden than we've raised in the past, but everything seems to be producing in of a good quality. So we'd rather have quality instead of quantity. And we're really, really happy with it. This is our miracle garden. Growing on a rock is pretty well what we're doing. I'll take you down here and show you some other little beauties that we've got. Now, me and Lakin had this garden pretty well weed free, and then it got so dry we couldn't really. I don't like pulling a lot of weeds when it gets real dry, because and getting there tilling and hoeing, it lets a lot of moisture out of the soil. We'll go to the raised bed real quick. Sorry for the video shaking. I've got some other videos I'll be working on for you guys. And again, I'm really sorry I haven't posted in a while. Okay, here's Lakin's kitchen garden. And we're getting ready to replant a few things in here. We had some cabbages here on the end. We've already harvested those. And these beans here, these are Missouri Wonder beans. And the goat has eat them as fast as they touch the fence. The goat has been getting out a lot every day. And he's pretty well destroyed those. We picked one little mess off of them. But we got several tomatoes in here doing pretty good. We finally found some of the yellow red heart seeds. And these are them. They're still kind of small plants, but they're coming along. And these are some of the most beautiful ones we've planted this year. These are called blue cream berries from Baker Creek. And these are almost ready. And they're so shiny and black on top, you can see your face in them when the sun's shining. And they get yellow on the bottom. And these are starting to turn now. We've also, this is Victorian rhubarb that I started from seeds from Baker Creek. And there's several of it that's ready to pick. So I'm going to try to get me some strawberries here soon and make some strawberry rhubarb jam. And these were Spanish sweet onions, and they're almost ready. We'd eat a lot of them for green onions in the spring, but I'm going to pull all these and let them cure and keep them for winter. And we have bull's blood beets, and they're making some nice sized beets now. And coyote red carrots, and man, they're delicious. And we got some old-fashioned white half-runners planted there along that seagrass. I had snap peas there. And we had some really good snap peas this year. I'll have to look and see what variety it was we ended up planting there. But 90% of what we have planted come from Baker Creek heirloom seeds. And we have had tremendous success with it. Also, if you can see it right there, well, that's our peach tree, and it has a lot of peaches on it this year. So we're hoping the deer stay away from them so we can have a good harvest of peaches. Beautiful evening here. Eastern Kentucky in the heart of Appalachia on Fluty Lake. Really excited to show y'all what we've been doing in the cabin. Hopefully we'll be living in this by spring, or not by spring, by winter time. I've got some videos I'm going to be posting for y'all of us making hay, and several other things around the homestead here. So please keep tuned. And we love y'all and thank you for your support. And we really apologize for not posting. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe. God bless y'all.